Hello and greetings everyone and welcome to my channel. As you read the title, yes, as you got the title, we are going to talk about RE9, Resident Evil 9, the next sequel to Resident Evil 8 or Village. And I'll give you guys my opinion on it, and I'm hearing the false rumors of saying that game is going to be in development. It might be showcased this year or next year. Who knows? We'll see how it is. But I could tell you this though. To be quite honest, I am not looking forward to a sequel to the Resident Evil franchise. As you guys know, my relationship with the Resident Evil series is kind of like a hit or miss for the last 7 years, and has still been this way ever since then, but it's kind of been getting diminished a little bit with remakes and all that kind of stuff. Remakes are just definitely there comes the norm with the Resident Evil franchise nowadays, which is, to be honest, is by far it's made for the best. So here's the thing, right? Because I was like thinking about this idea last year of how about like Resident Evil 9, instead of being a sequel, I want it to be a prequel. Now I know people wouldn't like having a prequel story, but having a prequel story, it'll be pretty cool, to be honest. And I'm like thinking, it would be cool to have an 80s themed Resident Evil game. It would be kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, we haven't seen a Resident Evil game take place in the 80s or 70s at all, so 80s or 70s style Resident Evil game will be pretty cool. It'll be pretty nice, you know, as like a game or something. And I'm gonna say this right now, and I'm gonna say this straight up for those people who's like thinking that like or for some reason care about the lore and story of this franchise, which, to be honest, not a lot. Like, I can guarantee that 95 to 90% of you guys don't care much about the story or give a fuck about the story and the lore surrounding the series. So if you're one of those people who are in the comments section saying that I just care about the story and lore, you're just saying it just because you know that the story and lore of it does not make any sense. And you know, like, literally, who really cares much about the story and lore of the Resident Evil franchise? A lot of people will care about mostly the graphics and gameplay. That's what I've been hearing for the past freaking 7 years. All I'm hearing is just gameplay and graphics and nothing more, nothing less. That's what I'm hearing basically from majority of people. You might hear 1 or 2 persons say the story is decent, but let's be real. Resident Evil is now well known for its story, well known for its gameplay and impressive graphics. So, but if you talk about a bit of lore-wise, I think it would be pretty cool to see an early incarnation of, not incarnation, but kind of an incarnation of Oswald Spencer, a younger version of him, like he's in his, you know, more around his like 40s or like 50s, when he's a bit younger, and seeing this version of him, because we all see Oswald Spencer as this old-ass individual. Oh, like in his 80s and he's on life support. Some ways on life support. So it'll be pretty cool to see a younger version of him operating behind the shadows with the other members like Marcus and the one of the Ashfords, like Alexander Ashford, for example. Like stuff like that. It would be pretty cool to see. Just make up something, like anything. Capcom, you can guys easily can make something up. I know maybe some of you guys thinking, are you just saying to make an excuse for having an 80s themed Resident Evil game? To that I say yes. I would love to see an 80s version of a Resident Evil game. Like, have some brand new characters, have it set in the 80s, have it be interesting and all that kind of stuff, and all could lead up to Resident Evil. Like, how about like this, like the villain of Resident Evil 10 would be like someone from Umbrella that's pretty much a, you know, someone that is pretty close to Oswald Spencer. Kind of do that as a kind of a build-up, because to be quite honest, the Resident Evil story and lore has been kind of fucked after like the events of Resident Evil 6. It's kind of like the story becoming more of like just like just a mindless zombie shooter series and that at this point right now, like Call of Duty. So yeah, I'm gonna be triggering a lot of Resident Evil people me saying this shit, but nah. I don't care. I'm just saying my own fucking things. My channel, I say what the heck I want, whether you like it or not. So it'll be cool to see that. Like, make anything up. Make anything up or something. Make it like a nice game. Have a decent story. Have some like brand new characters that with brand new things. Like something like that. Something along those lines. Because I know a lot of people, and some people out there are sick and tired of seeing the whole Chris Leon jumping back and forth being main characters. Why not have brand new characters with a bit of personality? And for God's sake, Capcom, for the love of everything, Capcom, please build some characters up. Or build some characters up. Make some characters. You guys are not even afraid to make new characters. You guys are good at making new characters, but make new characters are memorable. Don't make new characters to me will make me want to rip my fucking head off. You guys did with Nero. You guys did with Ethan Winters. For God's sake, can you guys make a brand new character that at least is interesting or unique? Because the word unique is not in your freaking vocabulary. You should definitely put it in your vocabulary, Capcom. For God's sakes. But it'll be pretty cool. It's just like a little bit of an idea. Resident will not be a prequel story. Because, as well, plus because Village, we learned a bit of an insight of Oswald Spencer when he took his trip to Romania and met Mother Miranda. So it'll be pretty cool to see it. All that kind of stuff. And I know after that, he went to, right after he went to, he went to Romania, he went to Africa and discovered the flowers that you guys saw in Resident Evil 5. So having an 80s style Resident Evil game would be fucking cool. I'm not sure. And I'm kind of like taking this idea a little bit from Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. I can't lie, because how like the 5th game is like 80s themed. I was like, why not Resident Evil? Why not? Why not Resident Evil do the same thing? Like, do a prequel story. Now, I know a lot of people will not like the idea of being the next mainline title be a prequel story. I know it's not gonna happen, but it's just an idea, It's just something that floats in my head, It's one of those thoughts in my head that likes to float and just say, yeah, why not? It'd be kind of cool. Like, break the monotony a little bit instead of being like, okay. Because the current story of Resident Evil 9, this planting the seed story, nice story, is basically Chris Redfield fighting against the terrorist group that he helped founded with Jill after the events of Resident Evil, after the events of Resident Evil 3, and if you want to talk about it story-wise, it happens after Chris and Jill destroyed the last Umbrella facility in Russia. Like, come on. I mean, at this freaking stage, what is going to be an Avengers-style Resident Evil game? That's what I feel like. It's going to be an Avengers-style Resident Evil game. Every single character is going to be in there. At this freaking stage. Like, what the heck? It's just like, I don't know. I feel like the story of it is not too interesting. And I feel like this game, it feels going to be action-oriented. I think so. I could be wrong. It could be survival horror. But I feel like Resident Evil 9 is going to fall into Resident Evil 6 territory. What do I mean by this? What I mean is basically how Resident Evil 6 have multi-characters, like, campaigns. You have Leon, you have Chris, you have, Jake, all that characters, all that stuff. Like, I don't want to see that shit. Like, what? It's going to be like, one campaign's going to be for Chris, one campaign's going to be for Jill, one campaign's going to be for Barry, for example, one campaign's going to be for Leon. It's going to be messy and, like, all that kind of stuff. Oh, you play as a Wolfhouse Squad. Oh, you play as like, Barry with some, like, the people and all that shit. Maybe Rebecca might come back. It's like an Avengers type shit. It's like Death Island. And yeah, it's like basically Death Island, but in game form this time. Like, come on, really? It's just not, it feels corny a little bit, I can't lie. It doesn't feel interesting at all. It's not interesting. Maybe just me. I don't know. Maybe you guys might love an Avengers-style Resident Evil, but I don't think it's gonna work well. And the plus with like how Capcom kept writing their characters is fucking god-awful, Jesus Christ. But, hey, I could be wrong, and RE9 could be a better improvement than Resident Evil 8. Because 8 is just such a goddamn wasteman. A wasteman of a fucking game. Wasteman. Fuck, I'm British. I feel like it's kind of like really something that I'm really like, I don't know. This is speculation, okay? If I want to put out like what I want for RE9 is to be a prequel game that is survival horror related, that goes back to survival horror. I mean, okay, like remake style. Kind of like the RE Engine remake style, like third person, fun to play, enjoyable. It's not gonna be like action crazy. It's gonna be like in a Resident Evil 2 style, kind of like Resident Evil 2 pace, like slow and good. I don't know if I said this before, but RE Engine Resident Evil games are good slow pace. A slow pace Resident Evil game plus RE Engine equals amazing. Equals just it fits like a glove and it works perfectly fine. But if it's fast-paced, it feels like it's trying to be fast-paced, but it's not. And it's kind of funny coming from me, because Devil May Cry 5 can run a solid 60 frames per second with no problem. But the difference is, Resident Evil is an action horror title, Devil May Cry is a stylish hack-and-slash game. So it's kind of weird me saying stuff like this, but yeah. I'm just saying, man. That's all. I'm just saying. I feel like a slow pace, like Resident Evil 2 remake style, kind of slow pace. It will make the game fucking better. That's why I like Resident Evil 2 remake a lot, because of that slow pace, like kind of feel to it. You know what I'm saying? Heck, like what else? Like, you know, learn more about Oswald Spencer. Add more like story into this. The man that's basically responsible for this outbreak, a man's like insane vision for a better world. This mastermind, the person that's literally the destroyer of worlds. He's basically Oppenheimer of Resident Evil. Like literally, like if you don't think about it, Oswald Spencer is basically the Oppenheimer of the Resident Evil franchise. This man's want to control the world, and he want to create a new world with better intelligent human beings, and he hates human beings, and he wants to create a world full of intelligent people, and where the strong survive and the weak ones fall and die. Like, there's so much things to explore with Oswald Spencer that is going to be a lot more interesting, because I want to learn more about him, and we're starting to learn more about him in a few games. But the more we know about him, the better. I want to know more about this man and what his like. Even heck, you can go back to his original roots if it's him as a childhood. There's gotta be, maybe, I don't know, when you go, imagine you go to a Spencer mansion and you go to his office and you find like maybe him writing his diary about his childhood or what happened and everything. I would like to know. There's still mystery behind this one figure who is responsible for creating these horrific biological weapon, who's using humans as test subjects to prefer his agenda. A man that created a pharmaceutical company to take over the world. He took over a city, if you really think about it, but taking over the world would be interesting. Like, if you really think about it, if you sit down and really think about it, it'll be interesting. So there you go, Capcom. That is what I want to see RE9 to be. A bit more in story, just a little bit of story, and a bit of character development, a little bit, for Oswald Spencer. Or heck, for example, you can make a villain that's like a higher up person from Umbrella. What you could do is with a higher ranking member of the Umbrella Corporation that's like around the leaders, the founding fathers, and build that character, and then appearing in Resident Evil 10 as the main villain and saying that, you know, people like you ruining my job and everything like that, you know? Have like a new villain kind of feel, you know what I'm saying? Have him an interesting villain, like the build up and stuff. I just want the game to have a bit, just a tiny bit story driven, but Capcom's not gonna do this. It's gonna do like, we're gonna fucking have a mindless shooter and all that kind of shit. There's just ideas I have in my mind for an RE9, kind of like in an RE9. I would like to be that way instead of being, a sequel to Resident Evil 8. Nah, make it a prequel, bruh. Make it a prequel, trust me. It's gonna get good. I know it's gonna fuck up the title, but Like I said, people don't care much about timelines. Y'all don't give a shit. Apparently now you guys care about timelines in Resident Evil series? Come on now. You guys don't care about timelines. Stop lying. Stop lying to yourself. Oh, jeez. That's just me. I don't know, guys. What do you think of my idea? This is just my idea. It's just like I have ideas can float around my head. I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? Should Resident Evil 9 be a prequel story and 10 be the finale? Or do you want them to stay in their own direction? I'd like to hear your guys' opinion on this. I don't know, it's just a little something I like to discuss about with you guys and debate. So, yeah. That's the end, guys. So that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked this video, hit a like button, subscribe for more content. And yeah, that's the end of the video, and take care now.